Hey guys, it's Jules here. I did want to do a little bit of a tattoo update as well. I'm not sure if any of you guys know this. You probably don't because it's not like in a place where I show you guys a lot. But I did recently get a little tattoo on my foot. And since it's really hard to film, looking at my foot at the same time, I'll just go ahead and insert some footage here of what it looks like and show you. Alright, so this is my foot tattoo that I got. As you can tell, the lines are super dark, super clean. It's just a really beautiful tattoo. You can tell it still looks like a tiny bit scaly just because it hasn't sunken into the skin yet, but you can tell that it's healed really, really nicely. There's no blurring or anything. Ooh. There's no blurring or anything of the lines, and there's that little stippling I was talking to you about. But yeah, so I'm super, super happy with this tattoo. I think that it turned out great, and I just love the way that it looks on the foot because there's still a lot of skin showing through, and that's really what I like. I kind of dislike foot tattoos where they look super dark from far away, so I like that this has a little bit of skin showing through. So yeah, that's what my little guy looks like. But yeah, so basically, I wanted to talk a little bit about the experience of a foot tattoo because I know a lot of people hear bad things about it, or, they want to know the truth about it. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my experience and let you know what I thought about it. So I did go get my tattoo from, of course, Mom's Body Shop on Haight Street. They have a tattoo artist named Jacek there. I think it's a Polish name. It's spelled Jacek. But yeah, he's amazing. If you want to look at his Instagram, I'll probably put a link below because he's really a great artist. I love all of his stuff. So I had been looking online for the artists in my area and looking on Instagram and stuff, and I saw his portfolio, I guess, his Instagram of his work. And the design that I got, as you can tell, it's all pretty much line work. So I really wanted an artist who was going to have strong line work, and especially something that looks delicate for the foot area. So I decided to go to him, and I went ahead and I booked an appointment, and yeah, pretty much showed him what I wanted to get. And the design that I got isn't his original artwork. I actually found the picture on Instagram and just wanted to use it as an inspiration for what I wanted. And I wanted to do I wanted him to make it like the turtle, but a bird's eye view, so not the side. And I wanted to change it up a little bit, but when I had talked to him, he said oh no, you don't need to change it. It fits the foot perfectly now, but we have a problem with the flower of life. It's a little too small for the area, so we need to see if we can expand it. And so it was not his original idea, but he definitely helped me work through it and put his little twist on it and kind of modify it so that it's perfect for me. And so I really appreciate that in a tattoo artist, someone who will tell you oh no, do this, it'll look better, or do this, it will look better in the future, because you don't want to go to somebody who's just gonna kiss your ass and be yeah, it'll be fine, and then 10 years down the line it looks like a huge blob on your foot. So I really appreciate his honesty. He's a great artist. But yeah, so once we got in, I sat down on the table. It was the next day, so I came the first day, and I had him, he didn't really draw it, but I gave him the idea, and he switched the sides so that I could fit on my right foot, and then he changed the flower of life thing. And so I just came back the next day because I didn't have enough time to get it that day. And so when I went in, made sure to wear some comfortable clothes, because I always get really, really sweaty when I get tattooed, because it's your body going into shock, and it is pretty painful. It's not the worst pain in the world, but it's pretty painful. And so I went in there wearing some pretty comfy clothes, and I sat down and he started. And if you're wondering how bad a foot tattoo hurts, then believe the hype. I mean, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it for you guys. It really, really hurts. It wasn't anything unbearable, and like I've said a million times, I have a super high pain tolerance, but I can totally see how if you were sensitive to pain, or, not good with pain, it would not be a good idea to get a foot tattoo. Mine only took about 45 minutes, and since it's all outlining, there wasn't any long periods of time where he was shading. So that was the one thing that really helped with the pain, was that it was pretty stop and go. So he'd put it down and then draw a line and then stop, and then put it down and draw another line and then stop. So it wasn't really a continuous pain, but damn, that shit hurts, you guys. No joke. Like, I have this huge tattoo on my back that took 2 hours. That was not anything bad at all. I have a foot tattoo on the left side, but that only took like 10 minutes. And that one like kind of hurt, and I was fully expecting it to be painful, but it was really fucking painful. And I was just sitting there like holding my arms and like trying to remain calm. And you know, I sit like a rock, if I must say so myself. I really try and be as like, you know, steady as I can, because it makes it easier for the artist, and also it helps them do a better job. So you don't want to be that one person who's like wiggling and squirming, and like he said, he was like, I'm holding down your foot because I don't want you to kick me in the face. And I asked him, like, have you ever been kicked in the face before? And he said, like, oh yeah, of course. So definitely consider that if you're not good at pain or holding still, or I don't know, if you're not good at getting tattoos, maybe you should reconsider getting a foot tattoo. But yeah, definitely my feet are pretty bony, so there are spots where it hurt the most. And the good thing about what he did is he started on those spots first. So if you've ever had a bigger tattoo, you know that like once you're about halfway in, your foot or wherever you get it starts to get really, really sore. And so it's like more sensitive to being tattooed. So he went ahead and started with the hard spots first. And the worst spots were like, sorry, I'm gonna look at my foot so I can tell, like right at the very top, like right near my ankle, because you can see like the bones and the veins are right under the skin, and you can feel it so much, and it just feels like someone's taking a little scalpel and like cutting right onto that skin. And it was pretty fucking painful, to be completely honest, and excuse my language, but I'm just gonna be straight up with you guys. Like, there's some people who will get on here and be like, yeah, no problem, because once you get a tattoo and the pain is done, it's easy to like forget how much it hurts. But it was definitely a painful one, and I was more than relieved when it was done, to be honest. But I sat through it, and you know, he told me, you're welcome to come back anytime because you sat so well, and like, thank you so much. Like, obviously makes their job easier if you can handle that pain. So I was proud of myself, and the result turned out really nice, so I'm super happy with it. And the thing that I thought was really interesting is when he was tattooing down by like the lower part of the tattoo, I could feel it like all the way into the front of my toes, like the little pain. And so I always just think that it's like interesting when you get a tattoo, like the way that the nerves work, it kind of like sends your body on overdrive. But yeah, basically that's it for the pain. I would say out of 10, maybe like an 8. It wasn't like unbearable, but I was, you know, doing my different positions. I was going like this, like trying to breathe and like holding my hands and stuff. I'll insert more pictures of it here of like me getting my tattoo done. And you can just tell like I'm really concentrating on my face to like avert the pain, because you can really try and like ease the pain with your mind if you just go in there and like try and be super relaxed and try and not think about it and just like focus on other things. And maybe if you have a friend who is going to be quiet but still like goes back with you to keep you a little bit preoccupied or listening to music or stuff. But yeah, it took about 45 minutes. It wasn't too bad. Okay, so on to the healing process. This is the thing that I think, like, my experience was more unique. For the foot tattoo, you're not supposed to wear shoes for like 2 weeks. But you can wear, depending on like how big your tattoo is and where it hits, like you will probably be okay wearing flip-flops. I luckily had a pair of flip-flops that just barely touched a part of my tattoo, and other than that didn't touch it at all. So I pretty much lived in those, and like if I was at home or somewhere where you didn't have to wear shoes, I just didn't wear shoes at all. But you know, he told me, and I read online, like, you're just really gonna have to baby it, your foot's gonna swell, it might be hard to walk, all that type of stuff. Like, just take really, really good care of it. Make sure that, you know, you're moisturizing it properly, cleaning it, because your foot's on the ground, obviously, so it can get really dirty. But I think since mine was only outline and not shading, mine didn't have trouble healing at all. Maybe it's just because I have good skin on my feet. But mine really wasn't painful to heal at all. It was only tender for about a day or two after I got it. And it wasn't even really tender. I was just like super paranoid of it rubbing against everything. So I was like walking with a limp and stuff because I just didn't want the plastic part of the flip-flop to rub against it. And the scabbing wasn't too bad at all. It was super thin scabbing. I just washed it a couple of times a day with, at first I was washing it with, gosh, what's that stuff called? I got this like antibacterial soap for piercings and tattoos on Body Art Farms a while back. And I only had a little bit left, so I was washing it with that for the first couple days and just putting on this Vanicream, which I highly recommend. I love it. You're not supposed, well, it's like a debatable thing. You're not supposed to put, what I've heard, like 100% petroleum, like Vaseline on your tattoos, because I heard that it can like suffocate it. But I did hear it's okay if you do it kind of like in a mixture with other stuff, and you don't want it to be scented, of course. But there's like a huge debate on what type of ointment or cream you're supposed to put on your tattoos. So I found that the Vanicream really, really helped. It only has a small portion of petroleum and has a whole bunch of other stuff. It's like recommended by, what's that called? When you have like a skin rash, it's recommended by them. It's like kid-friendly, anti or hypoallergenic, fragrance-free, all that stuff. It's really, really good. I'll show you guys the bottle in just a sec when I go grab it. And so I just put like a thin layer of that on a couple times a day. And then I started washing it with like CeraVe or like, yeah, I think the CeraVe wash, and just washing it. Just kind of like a really light cleanser. And yeah, it just healed up fine. I stopped feeling any type of sensation from it about 2 days after, and it didn't really scab up or get super thick. I was able to start wearing shoes about like a week and a half or 2 weeks after. I didn't really want to. I was like super paranoid about, you know, putting it in an enclosed, like, you know, closed-toed shoes. But I did go to the club and I wore these heels that were like kind of like booties, and then immediately after I got home, you know, I washed it and put on the cream. But I never noticed a problem with it. It like healed up super fine. Right now, you know, the skin still looks a little bit like a fresh tattoo. It hasn't like really sunken in yet. But it looks completely fine. It looks great. It's been about 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks since I got it done. And yeah, it's just been doing great. But I have heard horror stories about people with foot tattoos that it scabs super thick, that it's painful, that it's swelling and you can't walk. But I had 0 issues with swelling, not really that many issues with pain, and didn't have any issues with scabbing. So I think it might just depend on your artist, because I know that if you're like a more heavy-handed artist, that can cause a lot of scabbing. That happened to one of my friends actually. And also it can depend on like what type of tattoo you got. If you got something with like coloring and shading and stuff, I'm sure that would like irritate it more than just getting the outline. So yeah, I don't know. I think that my experience might have been a little bit atypical because of that, but yeah, overall it was a good experience. It wasn't too painful. Do I ever want to get a foot tattoo again? Definitely not. Not that I like have space for one, but definitely not interested in getting my foot tattooed again. My recommendation would be don't get a foot tattoo for your first tattoo. If you have already had tattoos and you're like okay with the pain and you think that you'll be able to handle it, then I'm sure you'll be fine. I have 4 tattoos now, but you know, 2 of them are kind of smaller. I have like this one and then the small Greek script on my other foot, but of course this one is my biggest on my shoulder. So that was the first tattoo I got, and the shoulder is like not a problem at all to get tattooed. So yeah, if you're experienced with tattoos, don't worry about the foot tattoo. Just go in expecting it to hurt, but don't be like freaked out by it, and just relax and you'll be totally fine. But yeah, I really hope that this helps and keeps you guys updated with my tattoos and piercings. I'm so happy with it, how it turned out. If you're in the Bay Area, definitely go see Jacek. He is a genius of an artist. I can't wait to go get some of his like original work done. He's definitely going to be my Bay Area tattoo artist. I really, really like him. I'm super happy with the quality of his work, and he's just a really good artist, you know? When I was getting it done, he had done the outline the same way that I wanted, and then he goes, like, I gotta tell you something. I think you should do a little bit of stippling inside the shell. That way it'll just, like, make it stand out more. And I was like, you know what? Just go for it. Like, you're the tattoo artist. I trust you. I think that you know what you're talking about, and I really like your work. And so he went ahead and did that, and that really made the difference. And it looks beautiful, and that was kind of like... It was kind of like another way that he put his spin on it. So it's not exactly his original design, but he did tweak it and modify it a little bit. So it is special to me. And even though there's like probably somebody else out there who's going to have a similar design, it won't be exactly the same because mine's just the outline. Plus he put a little bit of like the stippling in on it. So yeah, I really appreciate that he spoke up and said something. And that just like, to me, shows that you're a really good artist if you want people to have the best work possible on them, so you're willing to give advice and talk to them and stuff. So it was a really good experience with him. He's a great tattoo artist. I'm super, super happy with it. And yeah, I hope that this helps you guys. If you have any questions or comments, I know there's probably a bazillion questions out there. Please leave them down below. As you guys know, I'm really good at responding to questions, and I'll do my best to try and help you guys. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you found it helpful. And if you're not already part of the family, go ahead and hit subscribe because I'd love to keep in touch with you guys. And yeah, thanks so much for watching again. Hope you all are doing well. I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.